Hi all and welcome back. Today let's discuss about Odoo 14 Fiscal Localization of Chile. So over the years, Odoo has evolved enormously, bringing consumers from all over the world. Odoo concentrated on localization for Chile in order to reduce the entry barriers for new customers, allowing our applications to comply with local business rules and conditions. So Odoo allows required customization for a general purpose to be used in specific country. So in this scenario, Chilean companies have been presented with an accounting advancement that has been a norm for other companies also. So first we have to install this localization package for Chile from Odoo App Store. When you search for Chile, you can see. Okay, so it's already installed. So basically we have three modules, one for invoicing, accounting and reports. And if the country chosen is Chile at the time of database creation, then the localization package would be automatically installed. So here we have invoicing, accounting and reports. So this invoicing module, it provides all the functional and technical requirements for generating and receiving electronic invoices through web service as per SIA rules. Then accounting introduces the basic accounting features required to operate companies in Chile under service SIA rules and regulation. Then reports. So this provides accounting reports for Chile, which contains basically 8 columns. Okay. Now let's move on to company settings. So when you go to settings module, and here we can see we can manage companies. So there are 11 companies you can manage, that is create and manage new companies. Okay, so here we can see our companies. So let me open my company, Cybrosys Technologies, and here inside this we can set some details related to the company, that is general information, intercompany transactions and electronic invoicing. So here we can add contact, address, phone number, email, website. Then here we can set, we have GST, that is VAT number, and we have to specify the taxpayer type, then DTE service provider, that is a company service provider for DTE service. Then we have to set activities names, that is SIE, registered activities for the company. Then activity description. Then if you want to add company registry, you can add that. Then currency, it's already set. As we have set the country and state as a country as Chile, you can see that here currency. So you can change if you want from here. Then we can set company favicon and some account details, that is social media accounts can be added here. Okay, then when you set these tax details, here we can see a tab for managing electronic invoicing of the company. So here we have to specify the DTE email, then SI regional office, so it is set as Chile Chico, and SI exempt resolution number, then resolution date. So SI exempt resolution number is a value which is mandatory and appears in the PDF or printed tribute document. under the electronic stamp to be legally valid. Then we can set some details related to intercompany transaction, whether to synchronize invoice or bills, or to synchronize sale order, purchase order, or both sale order and purchase order. So you can set this for your company and save it. So after setting these details, you can activate the company and switch to that company. So we are already in Cybrosys technologies. Okay, so these company settings are done. Then we have to set fiscal details related to fiscal information. That is, localization package can be chosen from accounting configuration settings. Okay, so here we can see fiscal localization. So chart of accounts tax required specific to Chile will be auto-generated, and some legal statements also for this country. So here we can select the package and for Chile, and if you don't have that, you can install packages from here. Then we can fill the fiscal information of the company as per SI registry. So here one must add the taxpayer information and economical activities information for electronic invoicing. So when you search for taxpayer, okay, here we can define the taxpayer type and SI regional office for your company, and it is mandatory for your electronic invoicing. So here it is already set, as we have set it for our company, and that is the data added in the company configuration is auto-populated here. Then we can see economical activity information. So register up to 4 economical codes and description for your company. This is mandatory for electronic invoicing. So I have already added one activity code here. Okay, then you can see web services. So it's already set as test. Then legal electronic invoicing data. So we have set resolution and resolution date here. Email alias for electronic invoicing. So this also we have set inside the company, and it can be used as this alias will be used as sender in outgoing emails. When you send invoices attached by your customers and with invoice acknowledged or acceptation or claim sent to your vendors. Then one more thing is that email box for electronic invoicing. So here we can configure our DTE incoming email. We can set name, then server type, then DTE server, can enable this, and server information like server port number and login credentials. So here we can set gmail.com, then port number 993, and here we can enable secure socket layer. Then login credentials. So we have set an email server. So in order to accept emails from clients, it is important to configure DT incoming email server correctly. Okay. Then here we can configure signature certificates. So configure signature to sign SIDTs. So here we can create certificates. We can upload certificate key. So one has to configure digital signature to generate a certificate of extension .pfx for electronic invoice signature. So after uploading certificate key, we have to set the certificate pass key, and then can set subject serial number, certification owner, and we can create certificate. And one can also define users at the field, that is certificate owner. So they are authorized to use the certificate. That is when you set an owner here, they are authorized to use the certificate. Or one can leave that field empty so that everyone can use the same certificate. Okay, so here we can set certificates. Then we can set some details related to financial reports, that is FPP and PPM for financial years. So these are two values which are needed to define the report. So you can see we can set the percentage here. And we can set multi-currency, manage multi-currency. So currency rate provider for Chile will be updated in the automatic currency rate service provider list. So here you can see currency is already set, and below you can see automatic currency rates to update exchange rate automatically. So here it is already set as Chilean. And one can also assign the interval for which the currency rate gets updated. We can do it manually or daily, weekly or monthly. Okay, and here we can see the next run date, that is when you set interval here. According to that, it will be automatically updated. Then comes chart of accounts that corresponds to Chilean localization. So it is installed when the Chile accounting package is downloaded. And the accounts are automatically mapped to taxes, default account payable, default account receivable, transfer accounts, then conversion rate and all. So here we can see the accounts related to our company, Cybrosys Technologies. You can see that those chart of accounts are all pre-configured. So when you click setup, you can see the details. Now let's move on to our partner form and see what are the additional features available. So here we have our customers, and we can create and manage customers. And when you open a customer, so we can see here two fields, that is identification number, that is type of identification, and taxpayer type. So for every partner form, there will be an identification type and a number to add for partner as per SI norms. Okay, so we can set identification number from here, VAT, passport, foreign ID. Then we have taxpayer type. So it is an important field to be filled while creating a partner contract. Based on taxpayer type, the document type associated with customer and vendor transaction is determined. Okay, then here we have electronic invoicing tab, where we can set TT email and activity description. So while sending the electronic invoice, email that will appear as the sender of the electronic invoice to a customer, and the definition of the industry must be described. Okay, then comes our taxes. So here we can see from here we can configure taxes that is required for basic requirements of the company to operate in Chile localization, and is auto-generated upon installation of Chile accounting package. So here we can see some of the taxes. And taxes commonly used in Chile are VAT, that is regular VAT with different rates, and ILA, tax imposed on alcohol, so it also having different rates. So here we can see the label on invoices. Here we can see the tax group for Chile. So when you search more, you can see all the tax groups available. Then comes fiscal position, that is used for account and tax mapping. So it can also be set for Chile localization, as well as it in default order for mapping one tax to another based on country, customer, etc. So you can see some pre-configured fiscal positions. Here we can see tax mapping, and you can add account mapping. Then comes a new feature in our Chile localization, that is document type. So in Chile, as per government authority SI, the document type for customer invoice and vendor bills is well defined. So document type will be displayed on the printed documents, and they are used to recognize invoice from the invoice set, and also used to identify the account moves. So here we can configure a documents type under configuration. And you can see for each document type, we have to set a unique number, unique sequence number. And when you open one, you can see the details like code, prefix, amount reports, then internal type, then country. So these are the documents type related to Chile. and all the documents type are active, and if you want to deactivate some of them, you can just click on this switch. So we can use this document types on invoices, and document types that are used in different transactions depends on the journal used for the invoice, condition applied on type of issue and acceptor. So if you check our journals, go to configuration of journals. So if you open the journal, you can see some additional fields. That is, creating a journal same in default Odoo, but some additional fields are added to the configuration. So this includes point of sale type, then use documents, whether to use documents or not. So here we can see we can select, we have two options, manual and online for point of sale type. So you can choose online for journals to send electronic documents to SI automatically. So one must upload a CIF file for each type of document that is used in this journal. For a user of free SIS website invoicing system, or for already generated documents using a different system in the past, and you have to register them in Odoo now. So you can choose manual. Okay, then here we have field use documents. This determines whether the journal uses the documents type. So this options are applicable to sales and purchase journals, and in case of Chilean localization, defining default debit and credit accounts are important since they are needed to be used in debit note cases. Next comes CA file, that is here. You can configure CAFs, folio authorization code. So this is a file which the SI submits to the issuer with a folio or sequence approved for electronic invoice documents. So this code is required for documents types that are given to the clients. So business should make several file requests and receive multiple CFs, each correlated with various document ranges. So only one CF is required per document type, which can be shared among the journals. So we can upload a CF file from here and can save it, and then status will change to in use. And whenever document type is used in any transaction, invoice number is taken as the first folio in the series. Okay, now let's go through the workflow of customer invoice emission in Chile localization. So after creating partners and journals, you can create an invoice for the partner as a default method in Odoo. So under customers, I can see option to create invoices. Okay, so here we can select our customer. And add other details. So along with other fields, you can find two fields, that is document type and document number. So this document type and document number will be auto-populated once the invoice is saved, and if needed, one can change the document type. So by default, you can see one document type is set. So you can add product from here, that is invoice line, and after that you can save the invoice. Okay, so you can create a sale order, confirm the sale order, and create an invoice and confirm the invoice. So a TE file will be generated automatically and added to the charter. And this DT status also gets updated by Odoo as pending to be sent with a schedule action that runs every night. So we can also force it to run from settings. So after activating debug mode under technical settings, under automation you can find schedule actions. Okay, so you can see there are different actions, that is send documents to SIA. So you can forcefully run it from here in order to get immediate response from SIA. So once the DT is sent to SII, the invoice is assigned a SIA track number. So using this, one can check the details sent by SII by email, and the DT status is updated to ask for status. So whenever SIA response is received, Odoo update the DT status as accepted or accepted with objection or rejected. So this accepted indicates that the invoice is correct and the document is now fiscally valid and that is delivered to the customers automatically. And accepted with objection, this indicates that the invoice is correct but a slight issue is there, and even though the fiscal document is valid and is delivered to customer automatically, there's some objection. And when the status is rejected, then this indicates that the invoice is not correct and it need to be changed or corrected. So a mail will be received to the mail register in SII detailing the issue. So, and make sure that mail server is properly set. So after that, you can correct the invoice, that is reset the invoice to draft state and edit the invoice, and again you can that is post the invoice. And when an invoice is created as a result of any other documents, the related information will be recorded in the tab Cross-Reference Documents. For example, if the credit note is issued against an invoice, the details of the credit note will be there in the Cross-Reference Document tab. So you can see the tab here, Cross-Reference Documents, and here we can see the added line, original document number, SIA document type selector, then SIA reference code, reason, and the document date. So when you click on this add line, you can provide that original document number. You can see the doc type selector, provide reason, set document date. So once the invoice has been confirmed, the PDF format of invoice can be taken out containing the valid fiscal elements that indicate the document. So once the invoice has been sent to the customer, DT will change the partner status to send, and customer must give an acknowledgement back as email for receiving the email. So if the invoice data and commercial information are correct, they will send an acceptance email or send a claim. So then the DT acceptance status will be updated. So under that invoice, electronic invoice tab, DTE partner status and tracking ID can be generated. That is, it gets generated. And if those invoices are accepted by SII and it cannot be cancelled in Odoo. So if one gets the claim from SII, the way to correct it is either by issuing a credit note or cancelling it or correcting the invoice. Then, in order to correct a validated invoice or bill, one has to issue debit note or credit note. So, one thing you need is that you have to create a CAF file for issuing credit note, and it is known as document 64 in SII. So, and also debit note may only be inserted if the invoice is approved or objected by SII. And we have Chile specific reports, that is accounting reports. So here you can see under Chile section, under reporting, we have two reports. So when you click on the first one, that is which has 8-column tax balance. Okay, we can filter this report from here. So I want to include unposted entries also. So you can see some details here. So this report describes the account details with their corresponding balances and classifies them according to their sources and specifies the amount of profit or loss that the corporation had over a given time frame. So this is measured in order to provide a real and full knowledge of the state of the company. Then the next report we have, you can see here. So this is a new report by SII which is enabled to taxpayers, which replaces the sales and purchase books, and this report is combined with the purchasing register and sales register. So its main aim is to promote transactions related to VAT and to enhance its monitoring and reporting. You can provide the TASA PPM percentage and FPP. And can show the report. So this filter out the record data. So you can see the report from here. So these are the features available in Chile localization package.
If you are interested in knowing more about this or looking for any Odoo implementation or customization in your business, drop your request to odoo@cybrosys.com.